10,000 years before alarm clocks, a young hunter opens his eyes in total darkness. No sound, no danger, just awake. Around him, the whole camp sleeps. His mate, the elders, the children. He's the only one staring up at the stars. He listens closely. No footsteps, no growl in the brush, nothing hunting them tonight. And yet, here he is, fully awake. Across the fire, an old woman shifts too, eyes half open, watching the same darkness he is. She isn't scared either. This isn't the first time. Almost every night, someone in this camp is awake while the others sleep soundly. Now, fast forward 40,000 years. Same darkness, same sudden waking. Except now, it happens to you, alone in your bed. If you wake up at 3 a.m., you might think something is wrong with you, some broken switch in your brain. So what changed? To understand that, we have to go back to a time before electric light ever existed. Historians studying old letters and court records found something strange. People used to sleep in two separate chunks every night. They called it first sleep and second sleep, split by an hour or two of quiet wakefulness in the dark. Sleep wasn't a wall you hit until morning. It was a room you could walk out of, then back into. During that gap, people prayed, talked quietly, tended the fire, or simply lay there thinking before drifting off again. Think of it like a movie with an intermission. The story doesn't end, it just pauses so you can stretch. Around a hunter-gatherer fire, that pause wasn't optional. Someone had to be the one stretching while danger lurked nearby. One version of the night keeps you rested, the other version keeps you alive. Early humans needed both somehow. In 1966, psychologist Frederick Snyder proposed an idea. Maybe broken sleep isn't a bug. Maybe it's a built-in guard shift. Picture ducks sleeping in a row. The ones on the outside keep one eye open, literally watching for foxes all night. Snyder wondered if humans might do something similar. So how do you test a 60-year-old theory about sleeping cavemen? If ancient sleep secrets like this catch your interest, hit subscribe. There's a lot more buried in our own biology. They traveled to Tanzania, to a savanna where one of the last hunter-gatherer tribes on Earth still lives the old way. The tribe is called the Hadza. In 2017, anthropologist David Sampson strapped sleep trackers onto dozens of volunteers. For 20 straight nights, the researchers measured exactly when each person fell asleep, woke up, and drifted off again. The results stunned them. Across those 20 nights, every single person was almost never asleep at the exact same moment. Out of the entire study period, there were only 18 total minutes when the whole camp slept at once. 18 minutes out of hundreds of hours. 99.8% of every night somebody was lying there awake. The camp never really slept. It just took turns pretending to. One open eye passed quietly around the fire. That's the mechanism hiding behind your own 3 a.m. wake-ups. You're not broken. You might just be on shift. But here's the part they don't teach you. Not everyone in that rotation wakes up at the same time. Some people are wired to feel sleepy early and wake before dawn. Others stay sharp late and rise long after. Scientists call this a chronotype, your body's personal clock setting. And it isn't random. It's largely written into your gene. Sampson's data showed something else. Older adults in the tribe tended to fall asleep early and wake first, before anyone. Meanwhile, teenagers and young adults stayed up latest and slept longest, deep in the kind of sleep that's hardest to break. Researchers call this the Grandparent Hypothesis. Elders may have evolved to need less sleep so they could stand guard. For a young hunter, deep, unbroken sleep meant recovery for tomorrow's hunt. For an elder, light, restless sleep meant safety for everyone. So the next time an older relative complains about waking at 4 a.m., remember, that might be 40,000 years of instinct. Getting older doesn't just cost you sleep. In a sense, it hands you the night shift, whether you asked for it or not. Here's the twist. Nobody assigned these shifts. There was no schedule, no chief pointing fingers, no one saying, "You're on watch." It happened automatically, built from natural variation in when different bodies wanted to sleep and wake in the first place. It's like an office where nobody sets the shift schedule, yet somehow the lights are always on and someone's always there. There's another layer to this. Even within one person's night, sleep isn't a single steady state. It cycles up and down. Roughly every 90 minutes, your brain drifts from deep sleep into lighter sleep, a natural window where waking is easy. That lighter stage may exist so your brain can briefly scan the environment, a built-in check running quietly in the background. Deep sleep repairs the body. Light sleep protects it. Every night, your brain quietly toggles between healing and watching. Waking at 3 a.m. isn't your alarm system failing. It's your alarm system doing exactly what it was built to do. So, what about today? Sleeping behind locked doors, in climate-controlled rooms, far from any predator? Does this pattern still hold? One study compared nighttime awakenings between the Hadza, small-scale farmers in Madagascar, and modern Americans living in cities. Even in safe industrial bedrooms, people still wake briefly during the night, just less often, and usually without noticing it. The threat disappeared. The instinct didn't. You still carry an ancient guard shift, even with the door locked and bolted. Back at the fire, 40,000 years ago, that young hunter finally understands something without ever having a word for it. He isn't broken, and he isn't in danger. He's simply the one whose body chose this hour to keep watch. Around him, the fire crackles low. Everyone he loves sleeps safely because somebody tonight happened to be him. Which brings us back to you, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering what's wrong. Maybe try asking a different question. Not, why can't I sleep? But, who used to need me awake right now? And for how long has this been running? Your body didn't forget how to sleep. It just still remembers a world that once needed a night watch kept. It raises a bigger question. How much of what feels broken about us is actually just old, and once essential? Every trait we call a flaw today may have been survival equipment once, quietly waiting for the world to change. So next time you wake at 3 a.m., picture that hunter by the fire. You're not failing at sleep. You're keeping watch.